Bad weather and rough seas have cut short recovery operations for the crashed Sriwijaya Air jet off the coast of Indonesia. Officials say it is too dangerous for divers to continue for now. They've been focused on finding the second black box, which contains the cockpit's voice recordings. Search teams remain confident they'll find it soon. The data recorder, which has already been retrieved, could take days to access crucial information. Investigators will rely heavily on the black boxes to determine the cause of the crash. Families of the victims are hoping they can finally get answers.
Ya, semoga penyebabnya cepat ketahuan, terus kita ambil hikmahnya aja dari kejadian ini. Semoga semua penerbangan di Indonesia lebih baik dan safety flight-nya juga lebih baik.
Saiful Ismail joins us live from Jakarta. Saiful, the search will resume tomorrow. Tell us about the challenges the divers are facing to locate the second black box.
Well, Steve, one big challenge is, of course, the weather. As we've seen today, search teams had difficulties conducting diving operations because of the strong winds and underwater currents. The National Search and Rescue Agency, or Basarnas, said groups of divers have been in position on their inflatable boats since morning but have not been able to commence diving to continue their search for the second black box for victims and what's left of the aircraft. Now, a group of lawmakers who wanted to visit the crash site also had to cancel their trip because of the rough conditions at sea. Now, search team said they will be deploying a remote-operated underwater vehicle, or ROV, tomorrow to help find the second black box. Now, this is also to aid divers in the event if the weather conditions are too adverse. Now, the other challenge is that divers may have problems locating the CVR, or the cockpit voice recorder, because the pinger from the CVR has been separated from the body of the CVR. Now, the pingers may have been separated from the black boxes upon impact when the plane hit the water. Now, yesterday, divers found the pingers from the FDR and the CVR. Now, pingers are attached to the black boxes and they emit signals so that search teams are able to detect, monitor, track and locate the pingers. So the search for the CVR will be focused around the area where the divers found the two pingers. Search teams are confident that the CVR can be found soon.
Saiful, I can just imagine how anxious families are still waiting as, rescue teams find more body parts. Just how challenging is the identification process?
Well, Telly, the identification process has been made more difficult because the disaster victim identification team said not all of the families of the 62 passengers and crew have given their DNA samples. Now, a DNA profile can be from the victim's home, for example, from a hairbrush. Now, only 45 families of the passengers and crew have submitted their DNA samples. 17 others have not. Now, DNA samples together with fingerprints or dental records are often required for a conclusive identification. So far, police have managed to identify 4 victims. They were identified by matching their fingerprints on file to body parts found in the crash site. Police said they will hand over the remains of the first victim, identified as Oki Bisma, who was the co-pilot of the aircraft, whose family who will bring back the remains to East Java for burial tomorrow. In accidents such as this, the protocol is for the police to hand over the victim to the family once the remains are identified. However, the families of the other 3 victims that have been identified have requested for authorities not to hand the remains yet. This is because the families are still hopeful that more body parts can be found in the days ahead, which may belong to their loved ones.
Right, many thanks for that update. Saiful Ismail there speaking to us live from Jakarta.